coaches yell at you during the game. And then after the game, you gotta hug them. Then you carry around big trophies, climb ladders with a scissors to cut some nylon, dance with goofy mascots, pose for photos. Everybody wants to touch you. And the media? You can't turn around without a camera in your face. And then Dark Star whispers sweet nothings in your ear. It can make you punchy. Well, at least you get free clothes. But you better not tell the NCAA. It could be a violation. And watch out, you third-ranked Gopher grapplers. The same March Madness malady could get a hold of you. Oh, and by the way, Norm Green still sucks. And good evening and welcome to Sports Sunday. What a Gopher Mania weekend. Now the most noise generated on University Avenue? Well, since Sid Hartman got his car towed away. And while we are on the subject, who gives a damn what Bob Knight thinks about the Gophers? His team's in 6th place this year. We don't care, Bob. Around the horn tonight, we've got a couple of Big Ten champion big men. The Gophers' John Thomas and fellow Minnesota native Trevor Winter will join us in studio here live in just a couple of minutes. This Gopher team is a true team with a capital T. The players know their roles, and there's little chirping about a lack of playing time. But you do need go-to guys, and no one really has been better this year than Bobby Jackson. When you project this team playing in the NCAA tournament, Jackson is the guy who can flat-out win it for him. I love the way he reacts down the stretch. His impossible angle shot to tie the game at Michigan here was one I still can't believe. I was sitting courtside. I thought it was going to hit the back of the backboard. The usually soft-spoken Jackson showed some emotion after the game.
He's a great coach, and I'm just happy for him and the University of Minnesota and his wife. It's been a long 11 years, and I'm happy I've been a part of this.
Well, Michelle, we all know that come tournament time, CBS will have at least one camera fixed on the respective head coaches all the time. And the nation will learn a lot more about the man in charge of the Gopher basketball program.
There's no question, but Bobby Jackson, you're absolutely correct. If he is, he's the other edge. It's him and it's Clem Haskins. With the Gophers playing such improved ball this year, many have suggested that the Big Ten is down. Now, that's a remark that Clem Haskins calls a slap in the face to his team. And again, we emphasize the word team. While the talent in the conference does not stack up to the seasons that boasted, say, the big dog, Glenn Robinson at Purdue, or the Fab Five at Michigan, the coaching has been outstanding. And in that regard, Haskins has distinguished himself and his team. Haskins has a reputation for running his ball club his way and not catering to a star player. And this year it worked beautifully, as few teams in conference had stars at all. And for a man who just 2 years ago had angioplasty to clear a blockage in an artery from his heart, Haskins has more than held up to the pressure of being the #2 team in the country the last few weeks. Mark, Haskins has been criticized in the past, and he will be again in the future if he's with this team and they start to lose again. But all you can do this season is credit Coach Haskins for bringing back kind of the good old days of team basketball.
Well, I think, and the word program really works when you talk about what Clem Haskins wants to develop here. Guys who are going to be around for 4 or 5 years like we have in studio tonight, and that's the best example of how it works and how it has worked this year. Well, our basketball bonanza is just getting started here on Rosen Sports Sunday. On the menu tonight, a couple of the Gophers' hometown heroes will join us. Co-captains Minneapolis Roosevelt grad John Thomas and Slayton, Minnesota native Trevor Winter. We'll talk hoops and woodworking. And if you have a question for Trevor or John, give us a call. The number 330-9030. That's 330-9030. As always, our erstwhile operators are standing by. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Enthusiasm.
Don Shelby talks with Mayor Sharon Sales Belton about mentoring.
Does mentoring have an effect on public policy?
What's the #1 thing that people complain to government about? Taxes. What are the costs of incarcerating somebody? What are the costs of the police? Now, you want to do something, keep taxes down? Go mentor in a class. Because if we reach a kid early, that's a cost that we won't have to bear 10 years from now.
Volunteer to be a mentor in your hometown by calling Twin Cities 1-to-1.
It's not superstitions, it's rituals, man, rituals. But a lot of guys go through it. A lot of guys say they don't, but they do. If I pitch good the first one game, and my next game, I'm going out there with the same socks on, dirty socks, same jock, same sweaty t-shirt. I won't wash it. I won't do nothing until I lose, or there's so many superstitions in baseball.
What has 800 horns, dozens of antennas, 4,000 wheels, and lives under 3 humps? Auto Show 97 at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Make tracks. Come see over 100,000 horses gathered together under one roof. Auto Show 97 at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Make tracks. It's here. Over $15 million worth of cars, trucks, and conversion vans. Auto Show 97 revs up at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Make tracks.
All right, let's keep it sweet and simple. 3.9% financing for 48 months. That's 3.9 financing on Ford's best-selling cars. Taurus, Escort, and Contour. Now until March 12th, get 3.9 financing or $1,000 cash back on Taurus and Escort. Or get 3.9 financing or $1,350 cash back on Contour. For great cars, great deals, and great dealers, see your Northland Ford dealer before March 12th. Sweet, simple, and to the point. Home of 5 of the 10 bestsellers in America. Again.
I also like to say hello to my mother, my father, everybody back on 37th Street, Jay, West, everybody, Christina, what's up, everybody? How you doing, Big Ten champions, baby? Yeah, Mark, yeah, Big Ten champions.
Yes, my favorite moment on Wednesday night. We're here, of course, with John Thomas and Trevor Winter, co-captains of the Big Ten champion Minnesota Gophers. And John, I know there were that strong urge that night to share this championship with a lot of people who took you down this long road in Minneapolis.
Yeah, we won the Big Ten championship. I just want to let everybody know that we appreciate the support. And just to let everybody know back at home, also appreciate the support.
I was going to say, you just won the Big Ten championship. You're going to Camp Snoopy or something like that.
Yeah.
But,
nah, just a yeah, baby, Mark. You know, that's all I needed.
It was a lot of fun. A very quiet crowd at that moment, but a lot of fun.
And not quiet anymore. I mean, not quiet nationally. Trevor, you guys are getting so much attention and so much, the accolades are unbelievable, really, compared to previous years. How tough is it now to not look past the things that you need to do immediately and just think, oh man, number one seed, selection Sunday?
You know, it's tough, but we're just looking forward to the next 2 games. We want the number 1 seed, and that's first and foremost. That's what we're driving for right now. And it's been a great season, and to win the Big Ten was a great accomplishment for us. But you know, we want a number 1 seed. We wanted to be able to go into the first game, you know, with a number 16 team that we're going against, and just look forward to the tournament with a couple wins under our belt.
Of course, those 2 wins, well, those 2 games come up against Michigan State. Your last game at Williams Arena on Thursday night, then at Wisconsin on Saturday afternoon. Now, because you won the conference title outright on the road, you got to celebrate twice. If you could describe yesterday's post-game celebration, because it really was special. Here it is.
Love the confetti coming down.
I don't know how they got the confetti to fall like that.
What's the feeling like, though, at this point? Because you cut down the nets already. This was really the first time you shared it with the home fans, though.
Yeah, we want to really thank them. I want to thank the student section. They're always loud, Goldie. That's why you see me maybe the highlight grooving with Goldie a little bit. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody. We really do appreciate it.
That's a memory we'll never forget right there, standing at half court holding the trophy up. We all got a chance to talk a little bit to the fans, and it was just something that'll live in my mind forever.
You had said ahead of time, Trevor, you expected the barn to be the loudest you would ever hear it in all your years at Minnesota. Did it live up to that?
Oh, it did, that and then some. You know, we walked out, when we ran out for warm-ups, it was louder than, you know, during the game, during, you know, the stretch drive last year when we hit a 3-pointer to win it or something like that. It was unbelievable. I mean, people showed up beforehand just to capture us walking out for the game.
There's sometimes a concern because you can use up so much emotion, get caught up in all that emotion that you have to have enough left for the end of the game. And as we all know, it came down to the last shot against Indiana yesterday, John.
Yeah, we had a big stretch, but you know, once again we pulled it off. I mean, it's been like that for the last 5 or 6 games. I mean, everyone at home has been like, wow, but we won, and that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line.
Well, let's go ahead. You know, of course, the beauty of this team is that, well, this Gopher team is that outside of Minnesota, few basketball fans can name one player on their roster. Clem will not change what got him here. Come NCAA tournament time, they'll go 9 deep every game. Trevor Winter played 24 quality minutes yesterday, and Trevor, what a game to take into the memory bank against Indiana yesterday.
It was a great thrill. You know, I still got 1 game coming up, my senior night, but it was great to, you know, finish up a 5-year career with a game like this. It's just so many people, you know, they stood up and cheered for me, and to have my family there and relatives, and it was just a great feeling.
And you've really complemented each other so well. This is a friendship, and both on and off the court, that's gone on for quite a few years, hasn't it, Trevor?
Yeah, it really has. John's been here 4 years, and we've had 4 years to practice against each other every day. There's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears out there left on that court. But you know, there's days that I hated him and days that I liked him. But you know, all in all, I think I'll like him.
Well, that's nice to hear after all. John just took a big sigh of relief on that one.
Yeah.
Huh? You guys do spend a lot of time together, and it's something that people don't see beyond the box score many times, and what goes on to being a student athlete. I've seen you guys on the road, and as co-captains, the responsibilities go beyond just making sure the guys show up at the airport at the right time, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've got to make sure also we take care of our academics, because that's what we're here for. We're also here to play basketball, but academics is priority. So make sure we take care of that. You know, then we focus our minds on the game.
Now, Michigan, as we all know, started this season as the 4th-ranked team in the nation. They were the ones who were supposed to win the Big Ten title this year, but the Wolverines are long shots to even make the tournament right now, and those perspiration-soaked final seconds were highlighted by vintage Gopher defense. Michigan was overmatched here. Eric Harris punched the ball ahead to Bobby Jackson, who was fouled, made one free throw, and seconds later, well, the Gophers were cutting the nets on someone else's court, a place where Clem Haskins had never won. He had not won at Purdue, and this was one of those sweet moments where the silence was deafening here at Michigan, John.
Very sweet. They didn't want us to cut down the nets. They threw cups on the floor, paper on the floor, but it was kind of shocking. I didn't really expect that they allow us to cut down the nets. So once we did start cutting down the nets, it was, you know, you'll see smiles everywhere.
About a week ago, you guys had, you were followed around, at least to a certain extent, by a Sports Illustrated writer and camera. Here's the, show you guys the article. Did not make the cover story. Now, if you believe in that Sports Illustrated jinx, you got to be happy about that. But
Sugar Ray got knocked out with a free throw last night.
Yeah, it worked against him, so I guess you have to be happy about that. But was the article what you expected? There was certainly a lot of focus on your coach. What did you expect, and how did this compare to what you expected?
Well, I think we expected it was going to talk a little bit more about the players, but it talked about Coach, which was fine. He's done so much for the program, so we feel like he should get, you know, the story.
Yeah, I think, you know, we would have liked to have heard more of, you know, had our name in there a couple more times or seen the pictures of us, but Coach deserves it. Coach has had a great year this year, and, you know, he's got my vote for Coach of the Year nationally, and, you know, he deserved everything that was said in there.
I'm sorry, were you guys led to believe it was going to be a cover story? Did you think you were going to make the cover? Be honest.
Honestly, no, I didn't think so. Because
well, he was around for so long, I thought it was going to be a cover story. He was there for a week.
Yeah, like I said, 2 guys talked to me for 20 minutes each, so I'm thinking, wow, you know, we're going to be a big piece on us, but it was all about Coach.
Yeah. Well, of course, a lot of things coming up down the road here, Michelle, as well, as we all know, for the Gophers. And here we go with Bob Knight, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. Bob Knight reportedly said that the Gophers may be the team that can beat heavily favored Kansas in the tournament. I'm not asking you to look past your next 2 games, guys, but you must certainly imagine what it would be like to play Kansas and think about where the matchups might be in your favor. Where are they?
Well, personally, I think that we'd match up great. We've got a great point guard. We've got a great shooting guard. They're up and down. I think the front line matches up with Rafe and Scott Pollard, and also Courtney James, myself, and Trevor. And it's going to be, I think it'd be a war. And we'd be very excited to play them, and I know they'd be very excited to play us. And once tournament time hits, anything can happen.
As the next week progresses and you have the 2 games left and the selection committee makes its picks next Sunday night, a lot of people telling you guys just how wonderful you are, how great you are, how proud we are of you. No matter where you go, you're recognized now. How do you keep both those long feet planted firmly on the ground the next couple of weeks before you get to the tournament?
I don't think that's hard to do. Coach does a great job of keeping our heads into the game, whether it be practice or game time itself. I think the coach has done a great job all year of keeping us focused on the things and the games coming up, and not really the attention we're getting nationally or the success that we're having, but just, you know, the things, you know, down the road, the future.
There's a lot more to these guys than just hoops. We're going to talk more about how their upbringing here in the state of Minnesota as well, so stay with us. Back with more from John and Trevor when Rosen Sports Sunday continues.
To radically redesign the F-Series, the engineers allows F-Series to carry what won't quite fit in any other truck out there. Motor truck
100,000 horses gathered together under one roof. Auto Show 97 at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Make tracks. It's here. Over $15 million worth of cars, trucks, and conversion vans. Auto Show 97 revs up at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Make tracks.
The best place to improve your home's insulating system is your attic. And the best way is with Owens Corning Insulation with Miraflex Fiber. The compact rolls are easy to handle and simple to install. But the real surprise is how soft these revolutionary fibers are. They're virtually itch-free and poly-wrapped for even more comfort. And comfort is what it's all about. After all, there's a system to these things. Owens Corning. For a free sample, call 1-800-GET-PINK.
At Plymouth, we don't mean to brag, but Plymouth Voyager's received a lot of awards lately. It's a Consumer's Digest Best Buy, one of Car and Driver's 10 Best, and an Automobile Magazine All-Star. And now you can get Voyager plus $12.50 in package values like air and 7-passenger seating at no extra charge, all for this low price. Come see what all the noise is about during the Plymouth Award Sale. Only at your Plymouth dealer.
I think we saw more moves in those 30 seconds than we've seen the last couple of months here in the paint, man. That was, you got some shaking and baking going on there, JT.
Just trying to work it a little bit more.
They can hear your teammates right now, right?
Yeah.
You did not play organized basketball. This story's been told, but we haven't heard this until his sophomore season at Minneapolis Roosevelt. Now, I know there's one man, Frank Henches, who was your coach, who took you under his wing, and at that time, you sort of said, I was kind of clueless about the game of basketball.
Right, I really didn't have the fundamentals of the game. Coach really, taught me a lot, as much as he could. I was very raw, and as you can see in some of the highlights, wow, I was kind of skinny there. Yeah, but the coaching staff at Roosevelt, they did the best job they could with me because, like I said, I was raw, so. I had a hunger for the game. It's continuing to improve, and I'll just keep working hard and doing the best that I can at it.
Now, when you left Roosevelt, went to the University of Minnesota, Clem Haskins probably said the same thing to you. What was that like in your mind, thinking, I still got a long ways to go to make it here?
Yeah, I still think I have a long way to go, I mean, personally, but the bottom line is work, and that's what's got me where I am today, and hopefully that'll get me to where I can be in the future. So I'll just keep working, and I'll keep an eye out for me.
It's a good lesson for a lot of people maybe thinking about not getting into a sport.
Right. If you enjoy it and if you love to do it, which I did, just keep it up.
Doesn't hurt to be 6'9", 260 either.
No, and it didn't help. It didn't hurt him to be that height. We have this piece of footage of you winning this dunk contest, and you got to explain this to us because we looked at this, and we can't identify where you won this dunk contest. Take a look at this. We've seen J.R. Ryder do it. Look, oh my. Where was this? What did this mean?
This is Coach Hass's camp. You see the flat top, too. The high top fade. Yeah, this is Coach Hass's camp. And,
look at the scores.
Yeah, tens, all tens. People don't realize, I have a little bit of rise. It's just once in a while, I just have to get the ball, and I'll do a little something.
You still got some games to show us that move again.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the other side here, fifth-year senior Trevor Winter was the AP Player of the Year in 1992 at Slayton High School, where, by the way, he's very proud to mention that he hit 380 on his baseball team that year. Trevor, the results may became a little easier for you than John at this time. And tell me how concerned you were about making the transition from Slayton to a big college.
It was a big transition. Not only basketball, physically, you're going to be playing against much bigger and stronger people, but to play against and to adjust to school, in a big school, it's a lot different.
Was that your senior picture that flashed there in a flash?
Yeah, that was my senior picture.
John just fell off the couch here. What was the mask? Did you have a busted nose there?
Yeah, I broke my nose my senior year. Halfway through my senior year, I ran into somebody's forehead and broke my nose up. So, yeah, I get a lot of grief about that because they say, they didn't think that anybody'd be that tall down there that could hit me in the head. But
well, the natural question too is what happened to the guy's forehead?
Well, he was all right. He just rubbed a little bit and he was fine. But I ended up having to wear a mask for the rest of the season.
I think also the point should be taken is that this man really stuck it out. You had a lot of times, I think, Trevor, talking to you over the years where you weren't quite sure if you're going to make it through this whole ordeal here. And I use that term not lightly. That it was an ordeal at times for the University of Minnesota.
It's not easy. It's not easy for anybody coming in. John would say the same thing. There's times when it gets real tough, but you just stick through it, and Coach does a good job of keeping your mind into it and keeping you going the right direction. And it's all paid off. 5 years later, look where we are now. Yeah.
Well, you've had some other things to keep you occupied as well. You're a little bit of a renaissance man. We have this footage of you with this furniture that your family is clearly proud of. You created all this. Where did this hobby come from?
Well, I kind of picked it up from my grandfather a little bit, and took it from him and kind of grew with it. He did a little bit of it, outdoor furniture, and I kind of turned it into a business more or less in high school. And as I was going to so many summer camps, basketball camps, that I didn't have time for a full-time job. I was getting fired a lot, so I had to create my own job, and that's what I could do best.
It looks like you furnished your parents' entire home.
Yeah, but I just need to remind my mother that she said I could have it when I got my house. So.
Is this something you want to pursue then? I mean, as an occupation when your basketball career is over? Or is
I wouldn't say an occupation, but it's definitely a hobby that I enjoy a lot, and I'll keep doing that. It's something that keeps me occupied. You go down there and you might be frustrated after a tough practice or a tough game, and you pick up a hammer and a saw and you go to work on a piece of board. So.
Well, we could use some help with our places upstairs in their office too, so don't go away. Hey, just as the Gophers were celebrating on the Williams Arena floor, across the street, Mariucci Arena was filling up for what turned out to be a wildly successful night for the hockey team. Ryan Kraft's third-period hat trick gave the Gophers a 7-3 win over Wisconsin and a share of the WCHA title with North Dakota. Amazing, because the Sioux had a seemingly unbeatable lead just a month ago. And that's what made this night ever so sweet. A daily double of celebrations, and Kraft gave thanks to a couple of basketball players for their pregame support.
The fact that they won it just inspired me a little bit more, especially when we got guys like John Thomas and Trevor Winter and Bobby Jackson coming to the locker room before the game. It was a pretty special thing they did for us, and I'd like to give them a lot of thanks.
Well, John, talk about that. What an opportunity! You win the championship on Wednesday. You celebrate at your own home court after beating Indiana. You go over there and help maybe inspire these guys. Not that they needed your help on the ice, but what an afternoon.
I really don't know too much about hockey, but all I know is about a team and togetherness. And through my 4 years and Trevor's 5, we've pulled together as a team, and that's what I try to tell them. And Trevor also tried to emphasize it along with Bobby. And we just try to tell them, stick together as a team, and you guys can do this. And they did it.
There's a little bit of a rivalry, I would assume, between hockey and basketball, only by nature, but there seems to be a real togetherness, right? Especially this time of the year. Yeah,
this is the first time ever that the hockey team and the basketball team have won their championships in the same year, and it was, we just tried to instill in them that they'd be special if they did that, and they went out and did it.
Just as you spoke to their team and tried to inspire them, Coach Haskins has had at least one person. Paul Molitor came in and talked to you guys about being a champion. Has he been the only one so far? What do you expect? Because from what we hear, Clem will try to bring in some other local guys as well.
Yeah, well, I've watched him, hit some balls out there for the Twins. I really don't watch too much baseball either. I tried it a little bit. I dibbled and dabbled with that back in Coon Rapids, but yeah, it really meant a lot to us for a champion like that to come out there and say something to us. Just trying to inspire us, and it's the words you have to listen to, not necessarily the sport he plays, but just the words, and it inspired me personally.
All right, don't go away, you guys. Before we come back with your phone calls, our Channel 4000 question of the week: will the Gophers make the Final Four? Give us a call on your email.
Guests on Rosen Sports Sunday receive gift certificates from Timber Lodge Steakhouse. Hope you're hungry.
There has to be an easier way. And right now, there is. Thanks to your GMC dealers. Because when you buy or lease a Savannah by GMC, you'll not only get a smooth-riding, easy-to-drive van, you'll also get a 4-day golf vacation to the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, including all of this, courtesy of Hobbit Travel. So see the Savannah at your GMC dealer today. And get out of the white stuff and onto the green.
You are the one who thought the word that you didn't say. So the fight didn't start. So the knife didn't cut. So the gun didn't shoot. So the man didn't die. So the hate didn't grow. So the night was calm and the peace was kept. You're the one who can make the peace.
One of the most underused garments, particularly in this era of casual Fridays, is the sport coat. This season, we're offering Silk Blend sport coats. This coat has versatility, the fuller construction, the softer look, the luxury of silk. You'll find that the Silk Blend coat is a garment that will extend your customer's clothing dollar. I guarantee it.
To speak to the store nearest you, call 1-800-776-SUIT.
The WCCO-TV hometown team is teaming up with the March of Dimes Walk America.
Thousands of people from across the state are joining the campaign for healthier babies. Look for a location in your community.
Whether you form your own team or join the WCCO-TV hometown team, Walk America is a fun way to show your support.
So put on your walking shoes and walk for someone you love, Sunday, April 27th.
Call the March of Dimes to become a part of the Aerosol WCCO-TV hometown team.
By the way, we should mention that these guests on our show tonight aren't getting any gift certificates. Not until they're...
Not breaking any NCAA
Not
rules.
until their careers are over with, so NCAA...
I'll make that clear.
First day of eligibility. Eligibility's up. I'll come get that.
He'll be chowing down. We're going to go to our phone calls. Let's see. We go to line 6. Who's on the line? Who's with us here?
Hello. This is Bobby Jackson, Jose Crittenden.
How did they get through, first of all?
John.
What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing, Chief? Nickname is Chief.
We want Jose up. Okay.
Listen, I got two things to say.
Okay.
John, I love your Christmas sweater. And Trevor. And Trevor.
Come on, Jose. Come with it.
I love you, Chief. Here, Bob, say something.
Hey, dog. Hey, Jose up there messing with y'all, man. But I just want to give a shout out that y'all doing a great job on TV, man. Represent the U, baby.
Is that you, Bobby?
Oh, yeah, this is B-Jack.
This is Bobby Jackson on the line with us. Bobby, I'm going to take someone else's question away because somebody wants to know about your inside-outside game here. Are you going to let these guys touch the ball in the NCAA tournament? What's happening with that?
Yeah. Come on, Bob.
Yeah, what's up, Bob?
I'm going to try to do the best I can, man. Don't get on, man. If they can't touch the ball, hey, it ain't all my fault. I'm going to do the best I can, though.
Now, he's not listening. Were you trying to show Bob Knight up just a little bit yesterday because of what he said about Andre Woolridge?
Oh, no, not really. I don't really care what Bobby Knight says. You know, I'm just going to go out there and do my best and help this team win.
All right. Hey, guys, have a good time tonight.
All right, you too.
All right, Jose. We're going to see.
Oh, my.
It sounded like there were 20 people in that house.
Yeah, having a party over there.
Dan, you still there in Minneapolis? Dan, you there?
Wait, you haven't punched him.
I have to punch the button here. Dan, you there? Dan.
Yes.
Hi.
All right.
Go right ahead.
Two things. A, Norm still sucks.
Yes, he does.
B, John and Trevor, how has Coach Haskins' influence kept some of the upperclassmen from going to the NBA and going for the draft there?
Well, he's always been the one to recruit somebody that's going to be around for 4 or 5 years, and he likes to have guys that are going to be with us. You know, John and I, we didn't produce that well in the first year or two, and it's taken 4 or 5 years for us to come around. And he just tries to instill in us it's important to get your degree, and it's important to hang around, and the team's going to do better because of that.
Guys, we got to get running here. Have a great ride. Good luck starting next Sunday night. Obviously, got a couple of games ahead of that, and appreciate you stopping by. Right. John Thomas, Trevor Winter. Thanks for watching. Next Sunday night, Selection Sunday. We'll be back, Michelle and I, to recap the whole thing right here in Rosen Sports Sunday. Good night, everyone.
Standing in the street, nowhere